What is happening, guys? Fallen from OTV here, coming in with another new Clan War footage video here. We are on an insane 13 streak here right now, and we're going against some pretty damn good clans. So we're going to jump into some attacks here. Again, I did not have time to prepare, but we had a very close war. So we're going to go in here with some top attacks that happened, and we're just going to try and show as many people as we can one of their attacks at a time. So we're just going to go down the list here. I had the opportunity to look at some of these attacks, but I did not plan this out ahead of time. So this is just going to be kind of ad-libbing here as we go. Thor taking down number 1 as we jump into this. Now again, this clan definitely knew what they were doing. They had a 42-8 record over the last 50 wars, so these guys were not messed around. They had lots of perfect wars, and they indeed came within 2 stars of having a perfect war this time. However, it was not enough to match the might and courage of the OTB gents for this war. We're starting in here at the bottom, busting in with the Root Riders, and we do have that Rage Aura coming in with the Grand Warden. Things are going to push forward. We see this a lot. We've covered up the center of the base, so we're going to allow those troops to be able to go around here. That second overgrowth, more than likely, is going to drop right down over the core here once again. Our goal here is to try and eliminate that significant amount of damage that is coming out onto those troops early, and instead it's going to allow them to kind of work their way around the outside and prevent this damage from happening. So here we actually do have the Eagle Artillery has been activated. One thing to keep in mind is we did just have a recent update that hasn't, I don't think it took effect at all in this war, but we are going to be seeing some new troop levels and some new defensive levels, so that's going to be kind of exciting. Of course, we got a space fight going on here as well in my other game as this fight is, or as these attacks are being recorded, so we might be seeing a few more messages, unfortunately. Anyways, troops have worked their way around the outside. King finally pops ability, and we have the Town Hall going down here right away. We have a few troops that are busting through the middle. It's a little bit of a close one here right now. Those Hogs and the Royal Champ getting in to deal with that last Inferno Tower and those last few defenses. In the interest of time here, we're going to speed some things up as we go. Thor doing it big on number 1. The man steps up and takes this base down. It's a pretty big base. I think I might use this war base somewhere in my experience here of TH16. Awesome job, Thor. That was super good. Moving on, T, of course. T, the last one to attack, and the man did not even have enough bases to hit by the time he came around to use his attack. So here he's doing that Zap Quake right here, getting rid of a couple of those heavy defenses nice and early. We're coming in right toward the clan castle here. We're going to deal with those cannons, and I always get a little bit nervous when we're sending troops in at those cannons. Typically they need rage, they need a lot of additional support to work really well. Here we're just kind of getting them out of the way early. Those cannons are so scary, and they always do a lot of damage, even to things like Root Riders, things that are taking a lot of extra time to work their way around to be dealt with. So the goal here is we pop that ability, we're getting them under that heal, and we're going to try and push the Royal Champ forward here to take care of the core. And we do have one more backup freeze here to help deal with the core of this base as those other troops are working their way around the outside. We still have those big scatter shots there to try and deal with everything, and they are going to go down nice and quickly. They were a little bit damaged prior from those lightning spells here at the beginning of the attack. Things are punching through the core just fine and working really, really nicely. And at this point, this is just kind of a set it and forget it type situation. We're letting those Root Riders still work their way around the base. They are supported by heroes. Queen's going to eventually possibly go down, or at least get a couple more picks here on the outside. King's going to go down here shortly as well, but King does have that Phoenix, and that is a super strong attack, dealing with a lot of these bases we're seeing now, where they're kind of, not just centralized town hall bases, but they are really trying to screw up the flow of the troops. And by putting all those heavy defenses there in the core, T says, no thanks. I'm going to deal with this myself and move forward accordingly. Awesome job there by T as usual and Equinox. Oh, are we not able to witness this? We are not able to watch this attack. Oh, neither are we able to watch Pat. Pat, we're going to get in your second attack here, sir. Okay, another kind of decent base here. We're looking at Pat coming in with the Root Rider once again. This attack has been working oh so well, and Pat has a way here that that we don't see too commonly. He tends to spread those Root Riders out quite a bit, but really what we're doing is we're just getting a couple Root Riders on each side to try and set that pathing, get the other main like 6 or so Root Riders to move forward. We've used that Overgrowth spell, and there's going to be some skipping here. As he's dropping his heals, that's another thing that Pat does that you don't see too often. That is a really, really smart idea. Those Root Riders are just like the world's heaviest hogs, and with some heals, they can really be supported and help get through the duration of the base nice and early. Also allows you to hang on to your royal or your warden ability, and now we're finally able to use it once we get to the core. Under that rage, huge amounts of damage are going down, and that town hall is going to fall, and we are going to clean up all of those super heavy defenses in the last portion of the base right here, as everything else is really worked around the outside. We just have a king to deal with. We are in the poison here, but everything's been planned ahead of time. We have hero abilities still up and alive, and there is really no threat at all. This base is absolutely destroyed, and we've taken everything down here. And another amazing job by Pat. He's getting it done. Now I'm having some fears that because of some type of updating or whatever, now we might not be able to look at some of these attacks, so that's kind of sad. And going in on number 6 right here, again, we're looking at another pretty strong base. A lot of these bases that are having those super cannons there doubled up in a portion of the base, it's just really tough to deal with here. Ant he's just kind of a man of many talents. He's got a lot of different styles of attacks. These attacks are working really well, and that goes really for the rest of the clan too. Everyone is doing great on their own styles of this attack. Once again, that's something we preach here at OTB, is we want everyone to specialize in their own style of attacks. You know, granted, Root Riders are extremely powerful. There always is the question as to how do you use them. And that can be many, many different ways. And sure enough, we have people who are finding new ways to make this work constantly. Even through the nerfs, this is still working so well. We're sending those Root Riders absolutely full force ahead here toward the Town Hall. Typically, he's got 3 Overgrowth spells, so we should be seeing the core being Overgrowth right here. Quite possibly, we're going to use that Warden Tome, and now everything is invulnerable. We're dealing with the Tornado Trap, but everything is being healed. We have used the Overgrowth here over those heavy back-end defenses, including that Eagle Artillery. That's a huge issue nice and early. We have that heal to assist with kind of the weak side of the attack, and everything is still pushing forward. I'm not even sure if he's going to need all of those Overgrowth spells. I'm sure he's going to probably use one more here very shortly. But once that goes down, what more do you want here? So we're going to use that second one. I am, again, really interested to see if there's going to be a third one here. Hero abilities still available. So those troops, again, we're allowing that time for those troops to push around the outside and take apart all those defenses, leaving a few of those defenses left. And they're really not able to fight back against these really thick Root Riders that are just continuing to slowly charge their way across the base. And now we've reached the part where everything else has been cleaned up. We're literally hitting garbage buildings here right now and trying to clean everything else up. Well, the 2 cannons, Eagle and the Furno in there, and the Monolith, of course. Everything's moving forward again, taking out all those outside defenses. We didn't even need that spell. That is how powerful this attack was. They're finally going to double back and just sit there. We're going to wait for that to come up. Okay, now we can go nuts. We have a rage and we push forward and taking out everything here. That's just not even fair. Awesome job. Geez, they're strong. Okay, Overgrowth is just so powerful. Excited. Now here is, I'm going to call this the attack of the day, because this gentleman here, I have seen crawl his way up from lower town hall levels. He's battled through some really tough bases along the way, and he's now found a way to be able to use attacks against fully maxed bases. How he does it right now, I'm just impressed. Things are going really well here with this. So we do have a bowler attack. We don't quite have the Yetis upgraded yet. This just came out yesterday or the day before. So this is an attack that we're going to continue to follow up on here as quickly as we can. We're going to be seeing these new troops being used, and also the Flinger did get an upgrade as well. So now we do have that maxed here in this. Just going to provide a little extra support for a little bit longer. So that's really good to have. Hopefully we're going to be able to get down that scatter shot before the Flinger goes down. I think the poison will take care of it, but we'll see once we get there. Maybe not quite. Oh no, we've got things flying out of there. It's going to deal with that compartment there pretty well. Baby Dragon in there to help with the pathing, as we are going to eventually push forward. Now, Excited is, he's got a situation. He's got to make a decision right here because of the way that the Warden was not able to pick off all those defenses as quickly as we were hoping. So we just kind of have to fit those troops in there, because eventually they are needed to get in and get going with the actual attack. We're using a very early ability here. So we're going to most likely clear out a pathing. We might see some things go around the outside here. However, we do have some things that push forward into the core. That's going to help, but without those healers, things can get a little bit tough here for that. So we do have to commit fully with Rage there in the core. And this is just one of those situations where they're going to be able to take care of quite a few things here. But they might not be able to take care of the town hall. We will only find out, because we do not have any additional spells available, and thanks to the fact that they're bowlers, they're able to do that much damage to take care of the core. They didn't even need the healers. That's absolutely insane. So that makes it so we have all those extra troops going around the outside to deal with that very obvious issue of that back end and that king. The cannon goes down here very shortly. That is done. King ability now is no longer active, but we do have the Queen ability, and those last few troops are going to be able to get in there to clean up everything. Excited, you've gone a long way, man, and you've done a really good job here, showing that you can attack a maxed or at least near maxed base, little, punching above your weight, and you're making it work. So that is a really good job. Excited gets it done. Number 8, are we going to... Nope, that's me. I got screwed, and I'm pretty sure... Let's see, Neo. All Neo attacks. I better take a drink for this one, because there's going to be 10 different things. Alright, we're going to be... How am I going to talk about 10 things at one time here? So where's he going to come in? We don't even know. Typically does a queen charge into the town hall, sucks up the queen, starts her over where the rest of the troops start. Waiting for that to happen. Neo so confident in his ability that he's just going to sit back and let some things happen here. Perfect. So we have a couple loons out there to check for traps, just to make sure. Royal Champ's going to get it done up there. Here comes the queen charge here up toward where the enemy queen is. That is a lot of damage coming in on that area, especially when you're committing, 4 of your healers just to keep queen alive in that area. Here's the part that terrifies me. If I'm going to do a queen walk, because I'm the worst queen walker in the world, if I'm doing a queen walk, the queen's walking around the outside. There's no way I'm going to get her to the core. She's like allergic to heading toward the town hall, at least on my attacks. And this is exactly what I would be experiencing right here. And she would definitely go around the outside. Something tells me, though, that that's not the case for Neo here. He's probably going to get her to move in nicely. Meanwhile, oh no, and that's true. We run into an issue right there. Queen does run around the outside. Oh, it's terrifying. I know that feeling. And at this point, I wouldn't know what to do to counteract that. But the good thing is Queen has the ability to receive an adjustment, and he can just suck the Queen right up and proceed accordingly, which I'm going to guess, I don't know. We'll see if he does anything with that. If not, we'll just have an extra a pocket spell to use here later if he wants to remove Queen and use her somewhere else. So here comes the primary attack. We've got everything in. We got the digger coming in as well, coming in to do that damage and move along with all those beautiful miners. Neo loves his miners, just the regular level miners. There we go. Queen is going to be used maybe on a different day for something else. Oh yeah, she's going up top to deal with things up there. So this is chaos right here. I don't even know, like, in my opinion, this is just a lot of ad-libbing that's going on here from Neo. He's just trying to figure out what needs to be done, and he's just kind of changing his strategy as he goes. Thanks to the fact that there's always 8 million things going on at one time, that town hall is very much alive and going to end up dealing with the king here. And the rest of those troops are going to be able to take down the enemy RC right there. We have the scatter shot that we're going to be able to take out here as well. Thanks to help from that beautiful RC that's going to be cloaking up and dealing with a lot of those defenses and getting them out of the way. So here we've activated that leftover loon. We're going to do as much damage as we can here. To get that spell tower down is actually huge. And now we have the cleanup, and this base is dead. Neo does it again. The man is crazy. He's on fire. And he's done it again. Amazing job here by Neo. We've done a T. We've done T. DP. Let's go. So it looks like all the first night attacks are off the board here. So that's there will be no video of me today, so we can all cheer about that. We got the Root Riders coming in nice and hot across the whole side right here. We are just kind of focusing on that heavy area to send support from the Baby Warden, as I call it. Then we have our other Warden coming in there at the top, the 11 o'clock area. So we kind of have two fronts going on here, spread across a wide variety of space right here. A lot of those defenses are very tight right here. We have ice golems to deal with, so that's not going to be too much fun, as those ice golems are going to slow down the attack here significantly. We have the RC, we've got those Yetis coming in here down toward the bottom, that overgrowth, which we do have one more overgrowth. We can choose where we want to use that overgrowth. Unfortunately, all those bottom troops were pathed right into that poison, which sometimes you just can't, really plan for that. And we use the overgrowth on that back part of the base. So Town Hall goes down nice and easy right there, thanks to help from those hogs. That was pretty clutch right there with the hogs. And now we have very healthy heroes that are going to be able to really just take things one piece at a time and just disassemble those defenses as we're heading into the monolith here. That's never fun to deal with, but it's going to be short-lived because that amount of damage coming in plus the freeze or the slowing ability there is going to help significantly. We popped everything that we needed to. We do have some things to deal with down below. That scatter shot will go down with ease here eventually when the moment presents itself. Until then, those troops are just going to run away. Queen is clinging to life, but she's going to be there just enough to almost take out that wizard tower. And then we just have that final piece left here as we speed things up. The king gets it. The battle ram is going to tank there for the king for a second. That goes down, and King and Warden are going to finish off those last defenses. A close one, but dead nonetheless. That's a great attack there. We've done Tam. Dangerous Zone. Good. I was hoping we could watch this. Did he do the E-Drags? He did. So, again, I love the Dangerous Zone attacks because they are very much so two-part attacks. Not too many attacks these days do you see heroes coming in last. So that makes things really exciting, actually. So we're going to see how that works here. I have not watched this attack, unfortunately. So we'll see. We get a nice, strong start. And remember, these E-Drags are not supposed to be able to make it across the whole base. That's just what happens. That invis there made things a little bit difficult. And now as that is down, we've got to freeze that damage. That Town Hall is going to go down in that freeze here, fortunately. Now we can start thinking about where we're going to send those heroes in. We're going to be reactive to the defenses that are left still on the board. Dropping freezes accordingly. We do have one freeze in the pocket here, so not too much to work with here, but we know that this attack did get in. So And the Warden gets a crucial pick with that single target Inferno. That would be something that a hero would have to deal with later. However, we've got just a couple heroes on the board here, and we do have to deal with some of the biggest defenses left on the board. Typically with a freeze or two, that's going to make the difference and make things a little bit better. But here we go. Queen and RC working in their own little area right there. They are going to be forced to push around the outside and now also underneath the poison. So that's a little bit painful. We've tried to negate some of that damage here. I mean, there's only so much that you can do in there. But really all we have here left is that cannon. As the RC is going to go down, the cannon and Eagle Artillery, and we do have that enemy king. That's at large as well. Hopefully the RC can get the pick here on the cannon. Eventually that will happen, so that's really good news. Queen's working that Eagle Artillery down. That's not going to be a problem anymore either. Good thing that Phoenix is in there to help deal with some things. This is another close one, but it sure got done. Very strong hero attack. I absolutely love to see that. Love to see attacks where heroes can come in on the second half and just deal with things, you know. Last attack of the day, we're going to get New here. New's got his very famous hybrid with the Super Miners. We're starting out with a very, very strong Queen charge. Things are going to get a little bit crazy in that section right there because of the invisibility right there. New does not tend to use any invis spells, so that's going to make things a little bit interesting. King's pushing his way around. We do have the Flinger over there too to deal with some of those very interesting defenses. Hopefully we can get some shots in on there because those things are going to go nuts. We got the Queen pushing toward that Town Hall right there. And as expected, it gets a little bit crazy, but we're able to pop that Rage, and those healers stay away from the Town Hall burn. So that's going to be helpful very, very much right there. With the King going down here right now, that means that Queen is going to have to deal with a single target Inferno and those Ice Golems. So that's going to be a little bit scary. We don't like to have to deal with that. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go. He's going to have to start here now. He doesn't have any abilities. Oh, and the single target does go down. So that means the Queen's going to be able to tank. And I bet the Queen's going to stay alive the rest of this attack, where typically the Queen tends to die. Look at that. We have single target Infernos, or one of them at least, to deal with there. Lots of damage coming in. Have to use the Warden ability. Queen ability is dropped down. Queen's got to bash away on that Expo. She's going to just kind of become irrelevant here very soon, and those healers are going to latch on to the Hogs and Miners as they are going around here. Look at that. Everything is spread. We are getting into kind of the scary portion of the base. This is where you're going to see a lot of those troops getting killed off right here. Hopefully the theory is that they can spread out enough to be able to take out these big defenses. Those healers are really going to help save the day, if anything. And once again, Queen's going to get those free pickups across the base. I think the healers going onto those Miners are really, really crucial right here to make this attack work so well. With that healing support, they are going to be able to take care of a couple defenses at a time without having to worry about being killed. And that cleanup with the Queen around the outside is really going to make that happen as well. New Freak does it again. The man is on fire with the hybrid. Look at these different styles of attacks. I'm so proud to say that these guys have a variety of attacks that can be used, and it goes to show with the dynamic of base changes nowadays and the defenses that are being used. It is phenomenal to witness these attacks and such different varieties outside of the inevitable. You know how things are. They require different style of attacks, and the boys are bringing them here. So amazing job, guys. Congratulations on the wins. We are continuing with a 13 war win streak, and we are going to have to see what happens next, fellas. Thanks for checking it out. This is Fallen from OTB signing off.